Okay, Aaron. Man, I hope that's your name. I'm thinking it was Aaron. 2 A's. So, this first test we're doing on waste motor oil. If you were to have people doing this, they would want to wear a mask, like just a regular respirator mask, and maybe have a fan blowing on them or something to blow fresh air on them at all times, and they would be safe in that case. But this is kind of what we get with the waste motor oil. I'm not exactly sure what texture you're going for. This is a piece of hickory. This wood is so dense and heavy that it feels like a piece of metal. It's probably the heaviest, densest piece of wood I can get my hands on. There was some other stuff, but it was like 50 bucks a plank this size. I think this plank was like $34. So I felt this would probably be good enough. It was in the hardwood section. So, and I'm pretty sure this was hickory. And I'm not, like I said, I didn't hear back from you, so I don't know what texture exactly you want. So in this first test, I thought I would just do multiple phases of the burning process and let you have a look so you can see how long it takes to burn the wood. I do just do some light feathering at the end to where I don't burn the whole board to a crisp, and I do still have some patches that are unburnt to test on after you watch this video. Towards the second half of the video, we test the waste vegetable oil. It's actually not vegetable oil, I'm sorry. It's frying oil, and it's brand new, so it's a little bit different than the waste stuff. It's a little bit harder to burn, but we do got some footage for you coming up nonetheless. You can see here I'm just kind of burning this board. I did watch a couple of videos to see what different things people were doing. Some people were just lightly burning the board. A lot more than this here. I've seen both versions. This here they were using as like a wall paneling in public areas with the light oiling on it. And that was, some of that was done in real time, so you should be able to count how long it took to score these burns, because I know that'll be part of it. And I am pretty good with PID controllers and the mechanization of equipment and stuff like that. So if you guys need help tuning the speed of your conveyor belt to get these boards to go through at an exact speed to give you an exact texture every time, I'm definitely your guy to help you out on that as well. So here's what it looks like, just kind of lightly stained. It's amazing how much better it makes this board look. I see why you guys are doing this now. There's a couple of them I do that it looks like the thing has been stained with an actual lacquer. Because what this is doing here also is drawing some sap out of the wood and giving it like a natural lacquer effect. Is that kind of what you guys are doing? I don't know if you can see that sap boiling a little bit, but there's like this sappy boiling action. It, like, if you hold it in there too long, it'll do what wood does when the sap kind of boils out of it. This is one of the pieces I coated with lighter tint. And we are still on waste motor oil. I do come back and do the same thing with the frying oil, which is mostly peanut oil, canola oil, and 2 other chemicals that I'm not so sure about. So we might want to look into the composition of those as well. Waste vegetable oil is the best. That looks nice, man, compared to what it was. Here's that burnt version, another close-up. I hope this video isn't too long-winded. I wanted you to be able to see the different aspects of the time it takes to score this mark on here. It's pretty brief. That board could be moving pretty quick, and maybe you could run them through more than once rather than getting a perfect speed or something. You could have 2 of these burners kind of staggered. It looks like one burner would almost get this board if we were running it straight through. I wanted to hear back from you first, and I could move this burner to the back of the stand. and I can just slide this board across the stand and see what that does. The waste vegetable oil is coming up here any second. I'm getting fancy on you here now. I'm trying to get it all perfect.
It looks like it's been stained.
I did not do a good job at all. That looks good. It's uneven. I'm probably fired, but if I could make that even, I think it'd look all right. This is the last clip on the waste motor oil. And not all waste motor oil has lead in it. There are some that don't. But we just have to test it. It only costs $32 to test it.
Imagine that's too hot.
That's a little much. We got some white ash on there.
Okay, here is some waste vegetable oil. Got a little bit different on the flame.
Now this is the vegetable oil, and it does behave differently. Because I'm fresh off the press, I am sensing a difference. It's got a little bit more flame to it. The air's turned down a little bit on this, so. But this is probably a little better on the wood as far as contamination goes. It looks nice. Hopefully this is like a dream come true to you, because I sure put a lot into this. As far as, you know, wasn't a whole lot, but I mean, going and getting this board and setting this up and everything. And here we're doing the scorch test now. It's a lot of editing, I guess, is what I'm getting at. A lot of this footage is just a whole lot of nothing. If I sent it to you unedited, you'd be watching about 40 minutes of footage. So I kind of got to sit through it and pick out all the cherries. It's not doing too bad. You see that sizzling right there? It kind of sizzles the sap out of it a little bit. I wonder if maybe you guys want to bring it past that sap point. You're still smoking a bit. Hopefully you'll be able to pause the video and take a look at some of that. I noticed I didn't give you the little clip shots there, or snapshots. Towards the end of the video here, I turned the air up a little bit on the burner to increase the temperature of the flame. This is kind of a lazy flame right here. I wanted it to spread out on the board better, which you notice it is spreading out a little bit. It's not as focused as the waste oil flame was, but that's just because I don't have the air set up the same. Having a pressure regulator right at the burner helps to calibrate the equipment. We would want to do that. We would want to have high pressure going directly to the burner and then be able to calibrate it right there at the burner. This is just an unmetered test. I'm just kind of throwing caution to the wind. I figure if I can't do something good just winging it, then maybe it ain't worth nothing at all. So that's why I'm winging it here. Now running two of these, I want to say you would be using about 4 cubic foot per minute of air to run them at high velocity, and maybe only 2 or 3 cubic foot per minute at the rate we're looking at. I do not like the concentric nozzle design on this. I think your process would benefit from a smaller annular air orifice. This one is a little too airy for oil. I feel like we need a higher velocity, lower flow to better atomize the oil. This is set up better for propane and diesel in my opinion. But nonetheless, we're getting it to work under those conditions, which is, you know, good. It's saying something about the equipment anyway. Okay, so you can see there's a little smoke coming off of that. But nonetheless, we are getting somewhere here. And I do make different shapes of these things. But maybe I edited out the higher velocity stuff. There's the fuel consumption anyway. Give you an idea how fast it burns fuel.
I tried to be as even as possible. I'm not the best at it. It's my first crack at it. I still have this section to test for you, and all of this side.
So if you use the relation box here, you can immediately differentiate P with respect to O, and you obtain that it's gamma P over
I think the waste motor oil performed a little bit better. Oh, I had it turned up a little higher too, though.